NASCAR's not been to Wilkes County, North Carolina for nearly 30 years, leaving a historic venue that has hosted many memorable races even before NASCAR's founding. While NASCAR in real life will be making its triumphant return later this week, through the magic of sim racing will be beating them to the mark in the Area Truck Series in round number 6. Connor, glad to have you back with me in the booth for a fantastic night of racing up ahead here for the Area Truck Series round number 6 here at North Wilkesboro.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. This is such a fun track. I've driven here on iRacing a decent amount of times. It's such a racy track. It's a short track. You might think most short tracks, are pretty one lane. Not this one. You're going to see at least 2 grooves be used tonight. And not only is it unique that it has 2 grooves, it's also got some elevation change, which is tough to find at a short little track like North Wilkesboro, but it is an absolute blast to drive, and it should be a blast for these truck drivers to go around here today.
Indeed, here's these drivers out there on the track getting warmed up for practice. They've been doing so for 40 minutes, getting everything warmed up, and the track's also been warmed up quite a bit, looking at around 107 last time I checked on the meter, and might have even gotten hotter by the last time I looked at it. So it's going to be a bit of a slick racetrack for these drivers out there, and one big thing I've noticed is that it's been pretty loose out there, so he's got truck control in this case. It's going to be a big thing tonight, and keeping that under control for the amount of laps we got here tonight.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a huge day. We know how aged this pavement is. It's in desperate need of a repave, and it doesn't look like it too much on iRacing, but it definitely feels like most likely the real life counterpart, which it's so bad the track is coming apart in real life a little bit. So it's going to be a little bit like that, really loose, really slipping and sliding, and the hot temperatures are not going to help that one bit. As we look at Travis Beckner, who's jumped on the top of the leaderboard, this track is getting faster and faster as we get through practice. Times were in the high 7s, now we're into the low 7s at the top of the timing sheet with only 3 minutes to go, and it's all about that guy right now so far, Cameron Hearn, who's second on a time sheet video, and he's on a little bit of a roll all of a sudden. He had so much bad luck early on in the season, dating back to last season in area, but he's got 2 wins in a row dating back to Michigan in the Xfinity Series, and one last night at Bristol.
Yeah, definitely a driver to look out for as well. You can throw Brad Slaughter into the mix as well. Currently running 3rd on the timesheets, and seeing if he can do even better. Mason Kane in the 31 up there, also in 4th. Alan Elwood rounding out your top 5 in practice here as it starts to wind down to a close.
You see Alan Elwood, he's always fast in the trucks as well. He's running a higher line. We're going to see that line be used a lot tonight for defending and passing a little bit here. It's such a unique track, the way you have to enter turn 1 in the middle, and you almost have to turn it down to the very bottom on the exit 2. I wouldn't do that, but if you want to get the best run out of the corner, that's most likely the line you want to run in 1 and 2. 3 and 4, my preference would be to be right next to that small little curb in turns 3 and 4. Just wrap that, and you should be pretty good. You got to be careful at the entrance to 1. It kind of dips down, almost goes downhill a little bit, and it can get the rear end really squirrely if you're not careful.
Taking a look here at James Scully, currently running in 6th place and is currently at the top of the standings in the points. So at least as according to order, when you order it by wins, but even when you also order it by points as well. So he's been doing really solid in the series. 2 wins to his name, 1 pole position, 4 top 10s and 3 top 5s. It's been a good season for Scully in the truck series, and I think he's going to be trying to extend that as much as possible. Looking back and behind him next on the sheets, David Weiser currently sitting in 7th.
Weishart, he had a little bit of a decent run. I think he had a good run going at Michigan, but it all kind of came crashing down at the very end. He's still in desperate need for some points coming into this. He jumped up a little bit, but not as much as he probably should have. He is 7th right now, but still needing a lot more to go his way, as nothing went his way last week, but looking for more luck.
Yeah, definitely drivers are going to need a little bit more luck, some of them at least. And honestly, some may argue one of the more unlucky tracks is not even the super speedways, it's the short tracks. Because, again, with such a, and I'll go to the blimp shot again right here. There's not a whole lot of racetrack out there, and we got 36 trucks coming out here tonight, so it's going to get very crowded very quickly. And if you can just get put wrong place, wrong time, especially for the leaders catching lap traffic, it can end your night pretty early, and you're just going to be walking out of here virtually empty-handed.
Not to mention, this is one of the tracks that a lot of drivers most likely have not really ran a big race at. And by big race, I mean a race with so many competitors in it. You might see these drivers might have raced official with 20 to 25 trucks. We're going to have at least over 30 trucks. It could get close to 35, maybe even 40 trucks. So that's going to get real tight real quick from the very get-go. And we've seen struggles with short track racing in the past so far this season. So these drivers are going to be very patient with each other going down into turn number 1 for the first time.
Indeed, practice here coming to a close, and it's going to be qualifying starting in just a few moments' time. Get to see who's got what it takes here on the short tracks, and it's really going to be a very quick session, Connor. We're not going to have a whole lot of time to really go through a whole lot of stuff because these guys are immediately going to get out there. And I mean, what we're looking at, 18-second lap times?
High 18, low 18.7s are what we peaked at. A majority of the field in 18.8, 18.9 range, but I think pole time's going to be probably a mid to low 18.7. So like you said, not a lot of time to do anything here. 36 trucks in the field is 36 in a real life truck field, so everyone would make the field in real life as well. So we're going to get going here. 10 minutes to go. Put 2 laps down because it's a track smaller than 1 mile. So you get 2 laps to put a time down as we ride on board with the point leader, as you were talking about. James Scioli will go out immediately.
Indeed, wasting no time down. Right on board with him. Lap number 1 for James Scioli. You can see just about lane above the bottom lane entering the corner. You might want to kind of get down there, but not too far down there, especially on the exit of 1 and 2, 3, and 4. You can see, though, much more plenty down to the inside as he comes across the line to complete lap number 1.
Indeed, he does. As you can see, he goes up the track a little bit. I personally wouldn't want to run up there, but he might be getting a better run off the top, and he's just not losing a lot of time in the centers. High 18.798 was lap 1, as you'll see what he can do on lap 2, really sliding out of the corner. I don't think that's going to get him anything much slower there, so it might be a 1-lap track. We'll have to wait and see what others do.
Brad Sauter not able to improve. He's going to be sitting in 3rd. Blaine Harrison, 2nd on the timesheet. He's going to be spinning out of turn 4, hits the wall. His qualifying effort's done, but a decent lap put down. Only 1,000th of a second off of James Scioli.
And Blaine Harrison definitely looking to turn his luck around. Had not much go his way at Michigan, to say the least, but looking to rebound and not too high up the practice sheet, but really high up in qualifying as he's now 3rd. Philip York to the top of the board of 18.766, and that was his first lap. He's gearing up for another one.
See if the number 97 can improve. Very solid qualifying effort for him. In fact,
Herb.
It's unfortunately not going to be able to get another one, but sitting on provisional pole, still waiting on quite a few drivers to qualify. But I mean, he's beaten James Scioli again, the point leader, so that's definitely not a bad sign.
Definitely not at all. You'll take that any day of the week, and a decent amount have already gone out. 13 trucks, 14 make that and put a time down, and no one has beat the 97 yet. Justin Munsell is ending his lap. Also, Tom Bourne, who was at the point leader going into Watkins Glen, he still sits 2nd in a point. So a quiet season, no wins, but solid for him so far as Munsell crossed the line at a 18.843. Different colors on the Raycon 6 truck this week.
Yeah, I was gonna say that this truck looked a little bit different. I like the more muted brown and brownish yellow, I guess you can say, and the purple. Decent mix. Haven't really seen this mix of colors. That number 6 truck looks like it, as it finishes its effort, only going to be up into 7th at the moment. Travis Beckner in the 28 out on the track right now.
I was going to say that was like Lakers colors for Munsell, but that's about as much as I could relate it to. But still looking sharp, as is the 28 of Beckner. I think this is also a different scheme, a little bit more white on this truck, I believe, the Calusa Pines Toyota Tundra. As he went immediately to the pole.
Yeah, when the pole last lap, it looked like he was trying to attempt to practice going to pit lane and just bail out of the 2nd lap. Figured 1 lap was good enough, and I think that's pretty much what most of these guys are going to be looking at too. Devin Schillenberg do a solid time in his number 9 machine. So is Alan Elwood as he jumps up to 2nd place, just in behind Beckner.
Yeah, really solid lap for Elwood. He'll start near the front for sure. Looking at Ricky Harden right now, he's going into turn number 3. Last week's winner in all the chaos that we saw at Michigan only led 10 laps, but he led the most important ones. Made the call to stay out, and it paid off big time as he gets a lap in, 18.848. A little over a 10th off the leader, but still puts him 12th. So it looks like he's really struggling to get out of 2.
Yeah, I was going to say it was really tight in turn 2. I'll be surprised if this lap is quicker, and yeah, I think he's going to bail out, downshifts it. Back in comes around, going to come down pit lane. Yeah, that's one way to slow the truck down. I don't think the transmission will be too happy with you, but definitely a way to do it. Jacob Bell in the 77 out there on the track in the Florida State Builders card.
It looks like he tried a different strategy. It looked like he went really slow lap 1 and then just gave it everything he had on the exit turn 4 to get the run down into 1. And he ran another one running the high line in 1 and 2, and he'll go to the curbing down in turns 3 and 4. You see the truck kind of jolting around left and right, unsettling over the uneven pavement down there. Does it pay off? I would say so. It puts him 8th.
Wow. I was going to say I was surprised. I didn't think you'd even be in the top 10 running the outside in 1 and 2, but this is kind of one of those things. This is why I love running older short tracks and older tracks in general, because, we always talk about how basically I think Homestead, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, Homestead Miami was the first track designed with CAD.
I think it was, yeah, because it got a big refresh.
Yeah, and so every track before then was just designed by guys mostly just winging it. And hoping for the best. So for a lot of tracks, especially the more modern ones, up until CAD was put in, fairly symmetrical, slight differences here and there. But North Wilkesboro opened in 1947, so very much asymmetrical in a lot of places. And you can see in the way these guys are attacking turns 1 and 2 compared to 3 and 4. Cameron Hearn actually bailing out of his first lap because I think he felt it was not good enough. Figured he would come back in. First lap seems to be the best lap anyway. He's going to go again.
See Ryan Olson across the line. His second lap was not faster. He's 21st. A few others on track. Bronson Stafford just started his lap. Ryan Swan, Shane Therian on their first laps as well. As we see Swan here, a little bit off the bottom, but that's not a bad line as well. Sometimes you don't want to get too close to the curb, but you think you're going to hit it. The Swan crossed the line. Trying to see 16th for him. There's a few others on track. There's Therian, 21st. He's going for a second lap. He had a rough time last week. All the way planted to the very bottom out of turn 4.
So if he can improve, will not improve on lap number 2, so he will be back down in 21st. Ryan Swan, similar story, will also not improve. Cameron Hearn back out on the track to go for his only attempt now. You can see him running nice and slow in 3 and 4, and now going to punch it on the gas.
You could see on this onboard, it almost, you're going downhill at turn number 1. You could see it right there. It unsettles the rear, and you could see Hearn. He slid all the way through turn 1, even taps the wall there. I don't think this lap will count. But then in 3 and 4, it's a much more gradual kind of entrance of a corner. Really no elevation change until you get out of 4. You're kind of going uphill on the exit of 4, as that lap doesn't count because he did scrape the wall. But yeah, elevation change is not something. Yeah, he's gonna. It's not the first time he's had issues qualifying, but that's a unique challenge. One of the many unique challenges of North Wilkesboro, the elevation change at a track this small.
Yeah, and or just saw caught out Cameron Hearn in qualifying, waiting on Justin Ernesogek, Eric Wineland, Justin Michael have not put a time down. Bryce Senizak has just gone up a few spots, up to 19th. Paul Urban also just gone up to 25th. And for the most part, I think we are done with qualifying. Unless the 88, 21, and 87 are about to get on track. Are they in the server? Just wanted to double check that too.
I believe everyone is in the server, yes.
So I guess they wanted to start from the back. Interesting choice. Not particularly my choice.
Not with the recent history we've had. It has not worked out for a lot of drivers starting at the back, whether intentional or not. In a Sogak, he has a win, and he can risk it, He doesn't really need to worry too much about running
there he is.
Front. But,
almost like he heard us and now getting out on the track.
Yeah. Wineland, yep, there he is. And Sogak stays off the track. Justin Michael, he led the most laps, I think, last week at Michigan, so surprising to see him not out there, but Wineland's going to get the tires warmed up, and he's definitely going to try to gear up for his second lap and just get the tires up to an optimal temperature.
Yellow MTV logos on that 21 machine.
Yeah, Kyle mentioned that those weren't in the branding guidelines. He has not gotten the memo.
Oh, I thought this is the first week of that, yeah.
No, last
that was my first thought when I saw that, too. I was like, yeah, that's not going to make one particular man happy. Technically shouldn't make me happy either because I co-own it, but oh well. Could be worse. At least it's on the car. And let's see, it's going to be up near the top of the board, though, as 21 comes to complete his one and only fast lap. Currently sitting 33rd. Will definitely improve with a clean lap, but where to? Move to, I think, 21st, 24th.
It's probably going to be the last one out. You can go out now and get a time down. You could go out probably about 40 seconds and get a time down, but I don't think anyone's going to be willing to.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. While we have a lack of trucks on the racetrack, race fans, be sure to subscribe to the Area Twitch channel for only $5 a month. You can watch all area broadcasts commercial free. You can also use new area iRacing emotes in chat. You'll also be able to earn double channel points as a subscriber that you can use to redeem for free merchandise. That's again the area iRacing Twitch channel, and if you could either be watching us on Twitch or on YouTube here, and you're definitely going to want to get watching here. Qualifying coming to an end, pretty much at an end here with your results. Try to get the big one on screen. Take a look there. Travis Beckner going to be starting on pole. Alan Elwood, JT Poole, Philip York, and Devin Schillingberg. Some guys I wouldn't normally expect to be in the top of the standings, top of the timing sheets, I should say, running pretty well.
Yeah, Schillenberg, it's a great qualifying run for him. Also, Mason Kane could use the track position for sure. Blaine Harrison, like I said, he needs to turn it around and is a good start to the qualified top 10. Weishart 10th. Curhan, pole last week, is 11th.
Yeah, currently sitting in the warm-up period. We have some time to kill, and we'll kill it by taking a look at the point standings here. And looking into tonight, James Scully, as I mentioned, at the top of the sheets. 2 wins to his name. Anis Sogak, Beckner, and Ricky Harden also locked in with a win to their name, so they're pretty much sitting good for the rest of the standings. Then looking at Tom Bourne, Alan Elwood, Bryce Senizak, David Weishart, Dustin Scruggs. Actually, is Dustin out there on the track? I don't remember seeing his name.
Yes, he's in here. He will race tonight.
Okay, and Mason Kane.
He qualified 16th, Scruggs did, so not bad. Is that right? A 3-way tie for 11th? That is pretty spicy.
It is pretty spicy, especially with some of the names involved. Michael Kerr and Garrett Grant in there with Ed. If you might want to help me with this, because I know you do this series more than I do. Ed in 12th place.
12th place, Edward Shear. I don't know if I saw him tonight. No, I don't see him tonight, so he's going to drop. So that's going to be big for him. Also big for Brad Slaughter Jr., who is the reigning champion. 11 points back. Does not anything really go his way. Carter Coop, I've seen him up front a lot this season, but he's only 15th. JT Poole, the same thing. Ryan Swan, Eric Weiland, even Shane Therian, only 17 points separating 11th from 20th. That's how tight it is. Even then, you got Dustin Scruggs, 9th place, only 10 above that, so still very tight at the cut line, and a win has never been more important than in this truck series right now.
Yeah, taking a look at the team standings really quick as well. David Weiser racing up on the top. 2 wins to their names, with Miller Racing in 2nd, Primary Race Team 3rd, Roger Ware Racing in 4th, and Sky Motorsports in 5th. Decent gap between David Weiser Racing and Miller Racing up at the top, a little bit closer, actually a lot closer, in behind, with 35 points separating 2nd all the way down to 6th place.
Yeah, a lot going on there. Not as tight as the cup points, but you can see the battle for 2nd really brewing between 3 or 4 teams right there.
And we got our guys gritting up here on the racetrack. Speaking of which, race fans, start your engines with a fresh cup of Roasted Gems coffee. Choose from some of the finest coffee beans from Colombia and Peru, or try the blended flavors of French vanilla and hazelnut. Use discount code AREA iRacing for 10% off your order at checkout at roastedgems.com. So let's get through your Roasted Gems starting lineup here in just a moment. On pole, we mentioned Travis Beckner in the Toyota Tundra will be leading the field off. Alan Elwood in a Chevy Silverado lining up next to him, 2nd place in the number 10 machine.
Then 3rd place, so close to winning at Dover in a Cup Series a few weeks ago, JT Poole in his F-150, and then alongside him to 97 of Philip York.
Moving on back, Devin Schillingberg going to be lined up in 5th in the number 9 truck. Mason Kane next to him in the 31 in 6th place.
Points leader in the Truck Series, James Scioli, the Rick's Hot Sauce South Beach Heat Chevrolet right there, and alongside him, 66 of Blaine Harrison.
Moving on back to 9th place is going to be Jacob Bell in the 77 machine. David Weishart next to him in the 29 in 10th place.
Last week's pole sitter, Michael Curhan in the 24 truck. Alongside him, the Truck Series champion, Brad Slaughter Jr.
Moving on back to 13th is going to be Justin Munsell in the number 6. Ricky Harden lined up in 14th in the 15 truck.
Garrett Grant, he had early trouble at Michigan. He'll try to rebound. He starts 15th alongside Dustin Scruggs.
Moving on back to 17th is going to be Danny Ware in the 49. Next to him, Bronson Stanford in 18th in the 61.
Bryce Senizak in the recognizable 09 truck, the Chevy Silverado. And then alongside him, another Chevy Silverado, the HyperX Silverado, Ryan Swan.
Moving on back to 21st, Dean Thompson in the number 5 truck. Next to him, Tom Bourne, 2nd place in the points. As far as was it 2nd place? I think in points or
yes,
wins?
Truck points. He's 2nd in points.
So 22nd on the track, and have a lot to do to keep up with his competition.
Yep, and then 23rd place, early throwback for Gary Waterworth, Bobby Labonte throwback, which looks very fitting for North Wilkesboro. Alongside him is going to be the 21 of Eric Wineland.
Moving on back behind them, 25th Shane Terry and 83 Paul Swervin Urban lined up in 26 in the 3.
Carter Coop in the 52 truck. I almost thought that was Bobby Tinch. It looks like his truck, but nope, that's Carter Coop in a new look 52 truck. Alongside him, the 57, the Labonte throwback he's been running all season, Josh Taylor.
Ryan also lined up in 29th and 75. Dawson Miller in the 11 truck in 30th.
There's Bobby Tinch. That's the truck I recognize. The Matco Tools Silverado starts 31st, and Logan Hartman, and I don't know if that's a throwback, but it definitely has the throwback feel. He starts 32nd in the 96 truck.
Brandon Goddard in the 33rd position in the 38 truck. Cameron Hearn in the 4 and 34th with Justin Michael in 35th and Justin Anasogak. Brown Field, 36 trucks taking the grid here at North Wilkesboro. It's going to be quite a bit of night of racing. 175 laps on the board. The pace truck makes a left turn off to pit lane. Beckner leading him down and already away. We are green here at North Wilkesboro. Lap number 1 complete. Travis Beckner up ahead. Alan Elwood, Philip York, JT Poole, and Mason Kane running out your top 5. That top 5 is far from sorted out. JT Poole and Kane side by side.
Almost like Kane tapped the wall, but it's so hard to give room here. If you give any sort of room, you're definitely going to be going backwards, especially if you're on that top line. As you can see, Kane is able to maintain
spin in the background. Ricky Harden around, collects a couple of trucks, and the caution is going to fly here early.
Dean Thompson involved. I don't think anyone else got too much major damage. Daniel Ware has some. Therian has some. Harden looks okay for the most part. As we get the Simrack market replay in early, and Harden just loses it on his own. Garrett Grant did a great job getting through that, but Daniel Ware, Dean Thompson was not as lucky. We're not as lucky.
Take a look back at what Dean Thompson saw riding on board the number 5.
That was a track blocker. I don't know how that was not bigger than what it was. But you can see him getting sideways up there, just not able to get on the brakes in time. But somehow, not many others were involved in that.
Yeah, I think we mentioned Danny Ware was also involved with that right on board and see his point of view.
Let's see, Garrett Grant has some damage. Waterworth has some, but not much. See his point of view here.
Yeah,
right
nothing he can do. Yeah. He was already on the gas, tried to slow down. The back end came around and had everyone pile in. I think that's just kind of one of those things when everyone starts so close together, it's hard to get the truck low down in time and not get rear-ended, but caution early to slow the pace down. So a few trucks getting repairs down on pit lane. Travis Beckner is still your leader. We saw a battle already brewing for 5th place. JT Poole, Mason Kane side by side. But I'm curious to see how much the loose conditions are going to be a factor tonight, because in practice saw a lot of trucks end up looping it around in the wrong direction. So it's definitely pretty slick out there.
Well, we saw it right there with Ricky Harden. That was the first instance of it. He just got on the gas too hard and slid it. And just spun out all on his own, no contact from anyone, and that's not going to be the last time we see that, especially on cold tires. That's another big factor. You got to be careful on the cold tires, because it's going to be loose on cold tires, and you got to be ready for it then, because if you can't save it on cold tires, you're in for a bad night, because it is not going to get any better as the tires wear out.
Yeah, no, it is not. Definitely want to manage your stuff here and not get a little too antsy. Wait for the truck to come to you. It's going to be a big point for a lot of these drivers out here tonight. Make sure you don't try to, again, minimize the amount of mistakes, especially for the guys in tight points battles. Ricky Harden, he's going to be, I'm curious to see if he is back on the track. He is all the way down in 34th. As far as points are concerned, he's sitting 4th in the point standings, but he's definitely going to want to make sure he gets up there, and the truck's not in too bad condition. Just going to be a long night ahead of him.
Yeah, he was the one who initially spun. He got away with it, and he's, like we said, he's got the win from last week at Michigan to fall back on, so got to get some more points, but it could have been a lot worse spinning in front of the entire field.
Definitely could have been a lot worse. Pace truck back off again. First restart of the night. Beckner off and away. Back green here at North Wilkesboro. Battle for second, 97 versus 10. Alan Elwood on the outside, York on the inside. And it looks like Philip York will lose out on that occasion. Mason Kane trying to take advantage on the top side.
He's trying to make it work. Don't think he's going to be able to do much on the top. I don't think he's going to be able to get to the top of Elwood, but he can definitely defend up there. Mason Kane looking racy all over his rear bumper, and then they're 2x2 back with starting with JT Poole and James Scioli. Those two bumper to bumper side by side all the way back there.
You can see up ahead of them David Weishart and Devin Schillenberg on the inside, duking it out, battling still for 9th place amongst them.
You see it's still so hairy back here, and it's hard to sort out at a track this small. It's hard to get single file because, if you get single file, it's going to be hard to get back to that person. So it seems like the guys on the bottom, surprising me, really struggling in 3 and 4. It looks like the truck is hitting the track really harshly, and it's almost throwing JT Poole into Weishart, into Scioli.
And their battle going to be brewing as well. Still some battles also in behind them. A bit of a mess back here as well. A whole bunch of trucks all over the track. They're still side by side, almost looking like they're pacing back here. And notably, quite a few guys electing to take the middle, I call it, in 3 and 4, not tucked up against the bottom. And now look at the 12. Gary Wallersworth all the way up against the wall, just trying to find some speed.
I don't know if he's trying to find speed or find clean track, because both of those are going to be hard to come by. Just trying to find a way by the 52, trying to get away from the rear bumper of Carter Coupe, but there's just not much up there as far as grip goes. And it's going to be tough to find any more the longer we get in this run. It's going to get harder and harder to find clean track.
Looking at Travis Beckner off his rear view mirror, looking at what he's looking at in his mirror, just trying to keep Alan Elwood at bay, and Elwood's been getting pretty close since the restart up to the back of that 28, not quite able to make a pass. Taking a look back at the battle we were looking at earlier, the 26 versus 9. Looks like Brad Slaughter has worked his way on through up to 8th. And now these guys left to fight for the scraps as well. Also, David Weishart up to 7th.
Devin Schillenberg kind of falling back. He started 5th, back to 9th. He finally slots in on the bottom in front of JT Poole, but well, these guys have it sort of sorted out. It is so not sorted out 20th back. It's starting to get physical already. Gary Waterworth, Josh Taylor nearly hit there. Just a Paul Irvin are back here with front end damage. That's what can happen at a track like this with stack ups on a restart or into the corners, because so many people going for one slot of space.
Looking at a battle between David Weiser, Blaine Harrison, battle for 6th place brewing between them. Weishart attacking on the outside, and Connor, I think you had a little bit more driving experience. Oh, never mind. I was going to say you had a little bit more driving experience than me. Looked like the outside is looking to be the place to be. Well, first, let's take a look at what happened with the 44 Bobby Tinch.
54,
sorry. If this was a single truck spin.
Oh,
it will be.
Brain Goddard got loose too. Is there oil over there? I don't think so. But like we said, loose conditions, they're not going to get much better. But it looks like both drivers just pounded the gas. One was able to hold on to it, the other not. But either way, Tinch is okay. He keeps the truck in one piece, does lose a lap. But everyone's able to continue. What were you about to say?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say some guys running in the outside lane. I mean, typically, obviously it depends on the way it is. But typically on the flatter tracks, you see the inside line try to prevail. Surprised with seeing the outside lane work for these guys?
A little bit, but it's also very hard to make a pass work on the bottom to begin with on new tires. No one really pits. Bartlett Stafford pits from 14th. That's about it. But yeah, it's hard to make a pass work at this track regardless. But I think if you're going to do it, you might have to get physical and give a little bit of a bump if you want to do it on the bottom. I think it is. If you can get to the outside of someone, it is easier to pass on the top side, but the problem is it's so hard to get to someone's outside without either getting walled out of the corner or just not getting there to the right rear in general. I think it's too hard to do anything up there, but it's definitely easier to defend up there. I think that's why you see a lot of people running that middle groove, because they're just trying to protect from someone getting to their right recorder panel while everyone stacks up on the bottom. That's an important part of it too. The bottom stacks up. Where do you go? You go where they're not, and where they're not is sometimes in the middle lane. So that's another reason why I think we're going to see a lot of drivers trying to use that lane.
And quick, before we go back to green, we already seen a few Simrat Market replays tonight. Race fans, be sure to visit simratmarket.com for custom iRacing paint scheme templates that are simple to use and help you stay more focused on the racetrack at simratmarket.com. And Travis Beckner pretty focused at the moment. The easy start for him. He's led every single lap this race. It looks like Alan Elwood not really able to challenge him at the moment. Philip York also getting himself situated. He's up 2 spots since the start. Sorry, 1 spot up since the start. Mason Kane up 2 spots. In fact, actually, most of the drivers in behind making up some positions. James Kiley up 2 spots. Blaine Harrison up 2. David Weisert up 3. And Brad Slaughter, biggest mover, inside the top 10, up 4 spots.
And then you have a decent amount of movers up a few spots, and you have the ones who have been dropping spots, like Devin Schillenberg. He's back 4 positions. JT Poole started 3rd. He's all the way back to 11th. Doesn't have the truck under him at all. He's gone back 8 positions. Tom Bourne, 2nd in the points. We're talking about him. He's up 8 positions. Eric Weiland up 7. Carter Coop up 9. Josh Taylor up 8. And Justin Michael is up 14, so he's got to be the biggest mover so far. Jacob Bell, Jacob Bell's dropped back a lot too, but a lot of that's because his internet is not cooperating. And was also trying to see where he is. Cameron Hearn, I don't know if I see him. There he is. He's 22nd. He's been having force feedback issues, so maybe that's why he did not get a decent lap in. But I think he's got it sorted out.
Well, hopefully he does, because he's definitely going to need force feedback. You need to understand how the truck's feeling, especially when you're trying to feel it get away from you. So we'll see how the form manages if he did quite get that fixed. Back Green, though, up in the front. Beckner away again. Philip York trying to make a move to the inside of Alan Elwood. See how aggressive he is on this restart.
It's like he shoved Elwood up a little bit higher than he wanted to go, but Elwood able to get the run off the top. He's not really wanting to pinch the 97 quite yet, nor does he really need to, because the run he's going to get right here to maintain that position. Just very difficult for 97 to maintain without getting into the side of the 10.
And you're going to see right here, just getting pinched off the corner. It's hard to get back on the throttle without completely dooring the driver next to you. So 97 to York going to yield that spot. Mason Kane, James Scully. Whoa, there you see David Weishart get a little bit of Blaine Harrison as they come side by side off the corner. You see Weishart struggling on the inside groove. Brad Slaughter trying to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I was saying those guys are not pinching too hard, not being too dangerous. That was pretty dangerous. 66 really got on the right side door of David Weishart, but they were make it work that time. You're not going to be able to get away with that too many times.
Yeah, definitely.
Whoa, that was close as well. And Slaughter's not going to be happy about it, I don't think.
Slaughter is trying to just work his way up the order, trying to get past Blaine Harrison, riding on board now with David Weishart in behind the number 8. You see him blocking the inside lane, trying to prevent Weishart from a counterattack.
They are stacking up behind the 66 right now, and this is probably not going to end very clean if it comes down to it. Slaughter's the one who's trying to find a way by. And I think David Weishart and everyone else is just trying to hope he does find a way by. Harrison's in the wall. That's going to stack up the top lane really badly.
Up ahead, Brad Slaughter making a move on the 66, almost 3 wide off the corner. The 66 getting loose. There you see Weishart having to back way out of the gas and almost 3 wide in behind them. They are 3 wide. How about Tom Bourne? Where did he come from?
All the way from the back, but he's getting up there. This is what gets scary when everyone gets stacked up like this. Everyone starts getting impatient, getting stacked up everywhere on the top and bottom. This is when things get hairy, and it kind of creates all the ingredients for a pile up on the front or back stretch. Meanwhile, at least it's hairy up, down there. I guess that part of the order, but top 5 are pretty clean.
Taking a look back at them, Beckner off to a little bit of a better lead this run over Alan Elwood. Philip York, a bit of a top 3
split. Spin! Garrett Grant's around. Ryan Swan got damage out of it. Caution's out. I think Paul Irvin got some damage too.
See what happened midfield. Caution back in the air for the 3rd time tonight. See what brought this out. Did the 42 have some help? I see the 57, the Rick's Hot Sauce Machine, Josh Taylor gets in the back of the 42, and around he goes.
Ooh, Inasoga got through there well, but Paul Irvin, Ryan Swan, nowhere to go. That is, don't think happened there. Don't think anything happened between them. I think there was a little bit of a mistake here. See Taylor into the corner. Just into the left rear ever so slightly. Also into the left front for good measure. But once again, spun in front of a lot of people and able to avoid at least huge catastrophe as leaders fake on the pit road again. Still no reason to really come in. Haven't really used the tires up as we see the view up. I think that was the 49 of Danny Ware.
Yes, it is. 49 Danny Ware taking a look at seeing what he saw out the nose of his car, but leaders not coming in again. Actually, Josh Taylor does come this time by. I'm going to assume he might have gotten been put at fault for that? No?
They called netcode.
Okay, I see. Okay, I just thought he was coming down in because, you know, I figured if you're gonna get the penalty in the EOL, you might as well come get tires. But looks like he's just coming on down. Didn't even stop in his box. That's a bit interesting.
I think he pit because he was anticipating it, but they called it on netcode, so it was like, oh, never mind.
Well, he's going to be back in 29th anyway. That's going to that's a bit unfortunate.
Might as well take the tires at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I was him, I would just come back and come in for the tires.
You have to be careful pitting here, though. It is not. It is a short. It's a 40-second pace lap. So
I mean, you can see guys coming in, bottoming your screen, going into pit lane. Pace trucks on the back straightaway now, and it's very little time to get service. So if you're in the back of the order, there's a solid chance you can go a lap down.
Reminds me, I took tires in a street stock race at Southern National one time. I think it was my first C-class street stock race, thinking I had enough time for 4 tires. No, I was a lap down and destroyed.
And see the race off of pit lane looking like the final race out of cars. Everyone trying to beat the pace truck out.
Who's speeding? Who's speeding up? No one's speeding up. Bobby Tinch is speeding up, but he was ahead of a pace truck.
He's off and away, 34th place. 3 trucks a lap down, Garrett Grant, Justin Anasogak, and Bobby Tinch. Dawson Miller is multiple laps down, 13 laps down in the number 11 machine. Not sure why, I don't see any damage to him.
Yeah, he must have had something going on hardware-wise, because he did sit on pit road undamaged. So he is 35th, but he could have the chance to get more spots. We'll have to wait and see. The only driver out of the race is Dean Thompson, who went out in that lap 2 crash, or lap 1 crash. It might have been lap 1.
Yeah, I think it was lap 4, lap 2. I think it was lap 2 is when that crash happened, so he's calling it a night. 35 trucks remaining in the race, 31 still on the lead lap. Many trucks still ready to fight it out here. Still got about 140 laps to go. A lot of racing still left on the clock. We'll see what we're going to be in store for. No one's been able to touch Travis Beckner up near the front. We'll see. That could change here. All he has to do is make one mistake, and he's got a lot of guys breathing down his neck. Pace truck off and away. Beckner leading them down to the green again. As we go green here at North Wilkesboro. Immediately will clear the number 10.
Oh, Brad Slaughter.
Oh, Brad Slaughter sideways. Does he go around? He doesn't, but causes a massive checkup, and the caution will actually fly.
Oh, what a save, though. Oh, my goodness. That could have been catastrophic. That was an incredible save.
See what happened here. I think the 66 caught into the back of him. Wow, completely got into him. Sent the number 8 truck sideways and somehow managed to hold on to that thing. We're going to definitely take some multiple replays of this, because this is just some fantastic driving.
I can't believe he saved that. That should have taken out the entire field. You'll see it here. I think I'm trying to see which Vizquez truck this is, but Curhan sees all of the left side door. That is the worst case scenario when you see someone's left side door. And when you see someone's door and they don't wreck, that is some drive. You see Slaughter.
Wow, look at how much wheelies. Turn right to go. Talk about cars. Turn right to go left.
That's why he's the champion right there. That is unbelievable. And he goes up here and then gives Harrison a swerve, saying, "What was that?" But understandable for him to be frustrated. Got to be ready for the checkups in the turn 1. But
wow,
what a job! I can't believe that. And he almost hit Mason Kane too. That is unbelievable.
Props also to drivers in behind, giving him enough room to correct.
Oh, yeah.
And not piling, because we see there's so many times where you see a truck get loose, someone goes flying into the back of them and finishes them off, basically. But everyone did a great job. There wasn't any secondary incident from a massive checkup, so props to everyone else involved. But back under caution again. And we're going to take a little bit of a break. There's something I need to fix, so take a break momentarily. We'll be right back. And welcome back here to North Wilkesboro, round number 6 for the Area Truck Series. Ready to go racing yet again after another caution, slowing down the progress for tonight. Travis Beckner in the lead. Going to see if, anyway, I'm curious to see if we're going to see Philip York. I'm waiting for Philip York or Alan Elwood to make a dive. Maybe not Elwood because, you know, he's not too aggressive, but York can be if he wants to be. We'll see what they do with the 97 all over the back of the 28, I should say, on this restart. Following them in behind, side by side by side. A cleaner restart this time. Brad Slaughter going in the right direction, though with some damage to his truck from last time.
Yeah, York was ready for that one. Once again, no Geico restart zone, so it's not on the leader. Well, it is on the leader, but he doesn't have a zone to go in. He can go in whenever that pace truck pulls off. So different restart than what we saw last night at Bristol. And York almost took advantage to get second, but Elwood's still too strong on that top line.
Fighting with the 97, York just not able to find the speed. You see the 10 backing up the corner. Ooh, that actually might have cost him. There is the 97 poking his way on through that run off the corner, helping him on exit.
Yeah, York almost took advantage of Elwood slipping up too high, but the 10 just barely got enough of a run on exit to re-maintain on that outside line. He should have him at a 4 this time. He does not go as high this time. This lets Beckner get a big lead, as biggest of the night, and they almost touched for the runner-up spot.
And finally the 10 of Danny Ware, not Danny Ware, sorry, 10 of Alan Elbow to make his way on by. James Scarlett up 3 spots in behind them, up to 4th. He's looking like he might be knocking on the door.
Oh, Jim Scarlett competing for the win. What's new? But he's doing a great job right now. He's been top 10 the entire time, worked his way up into a 4th, and he's looking strong, but also looking very patient, not really willing to put a nose out of place. York really sideways in front of him, but he keeps it straight as Skylerly looks at the bottom. Into 3 as he put a little bit of a gap between him and Mason Kane. He bumps Philip York out of the way, and Philip York not happy. This is going to cause some hard feelings.
3 wide, Mason Kane diving in the corner, going to shove the 97 into the wall, and Philip York getting all kinds of used up. 3 wide and behind. Tom Bourne making a move to the inside of JT Poole will back off of it. Now you see everyone scrambling, trying to take advantage of everyone getting the moment, and whoa, there you see someone catch the wall back there. I think it goes Bryce Senizak in the 09, but coming back to Philip York, he's going to definitely be looking to see if he can catch back up to both the 31 of Mason Kane and the 7 of James Scioli, because I think he's going to felt like he was done wrong by both of those drivers in two corners succeeding one another.
Yeah, he'll definitely remember the looks of those trucks, no doubt about that, but now he's got his own issues. He not only has damage on the fenders, he's got Justin Munsell absolutely trying to use all of everything but the left side up. He's really pushing 97 wide, but he just can't clear. The top line, that middle line is just able to work right now. Oh, spin, background, no yellow. That is Dustin Scruggs, I think.
Justin Michael in the...
No, yep, you're right.
In the 87 around, he goes for a loop, backs it out onto the racetrack. We remain green. Here's just a quick look at your Simrad Mark replay of what happened to him.
Another self-spin out of 2.
It's 52, like Carter Coop.
Almost looks like Carter Coop was lower than he anticipated, like he hit Gary Waterworth. But Michael kept it straight, still green, but now he's a lap down.
Is a lap down, and actually, you can see there Travis Beckner just up ahead of him. So already some little bit of lap traffic for the leader. In behind, Cameron Earn. I think his force feedback is definitely fixed. I'd be surprised if he's doing this well without it. Then again, there are some drivers out here on a controller, so don't even really know how much force feedback means anymore. But Cameron Earn running well, up from 34th, 23 spots into 11th as he just worked past the 24 Michael Curran.
Ooh, they are dooring back there. I think Paul Irvin just gave his right side door to Carter Coop, so that's all the way for 19th place. Every position matters, no doubt about that. It's never more apparent than in areas. Every battle is so important with how tight the points are in the Truck Series right now. 4th place is another battle. Mason Kane and Brad Slaughter Jr. are right next to one another.
Battle for 4th place. Brad Slaughter trying to move the 31 out of the way. We've seen Mason Kane can be aggressive when he wants to be. He's on the outside, trying to just hold off and keep that run going on the number 8 machine off the corner. Brad Slaughter going to aggressively clear and hold off any fight. There comes Mason Kane now trying to defend from
another crash. Carter Coop, Paul Irvin into the inside wall. Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor in it as well. Not sure who else was in it, but I don't know if it started. I don't think it started with those two, as they're going to go a lap down.
Caution out yet again here. Simran Market replay what happened Ooh, number 3 of Urban was loose, and I think caused everyone else to get involved. Ricky Harden narrowly making his way on through. Urban stuck in the inside wall. Let's see what happened with him.
He had to reset. Yeah, I've never seen anyone get stuck in the guardrail here. Yeah, let's see what caused it. Oh, he just turn 2, trouble spot. And everyone's going to come down to pit road this time. Pretty much the entire field.
Take one last look at Josh Taylor's point of view.
He never saw it.
Yeah, never saw it. Just he's still wondering what on earth happened. There.
So are the fans right there.
And as mentioned, everyone down on a pit lane. Ooh, actually not everyone. Not everyone.
Majority. Not everyone. Let's see who came in.
I like this. I like a split strategy. Ooh, and some drivers, there we go. We're talking about short pit lane. A couple guys might be going a lap down.
Oh, yeah, they are. Yes, they most certainly did. Elwood actually did stay out, which I think he was really the only one in the top 10 to stay out. So that's a little bit surprising. Next one who stayed out was Justin Munsell. He was in 8th, so I was just completely lying.
Yeah, but you see Bryce Senizek and a bunch of others getting put a lap down on this after their recent trip to pit lane. Bryce Senizek, Dustin Scruggs, Bronson Stafford, Eric Wineland, Gary Wallersworth, all being put a lap down after making a trip down to pit lane. That's unfortunate for them. It's almost like I almost wish that they had a variable pace car speed, so the first 2 laps they just ran a little bit slower to give time for everyone to come on down. I think in real life they're going to be happy. The drivers going to be happy there's a stage break. You don't have to come in under green.
Well, he shouldn't have to, but with the tire wear, who knows?
Yeah,
who knows what will happen.
I was going to say it is true because for anyone that's seen the post, some of the bits of track getting pulled up, and they had a yellow flag to racers to fix the track. I'm trying to remember when was the last time I seen that because there's another race. I want to say it was maybe Michigan.
I don't remember having a Michigan. I remember Daytona 2010. That's the last time I remember that happening.
Maybe it was Daytona I was thinking about because it's not been the last time there's been like a track breaking up and they've had to fix it under caution as much as they can under caution.
Or red flag. You know what? I remember the track at the Dover surface coming up in like 2014. Jay McMurray ran over, but yeah, it definitely happens. And one thing about the tires, it's going to be like, what, an 100-lap run if it went green for the All-Star race? And if you look at the videos of RFK testing there, they don't even get full throttle on a long run, so that's going to get wild. But will it get more wild than this? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll definitely see here. New leader, order shaking up. Top 5 have not come down to pit lane. We'll see what they can do. Alan Elwood now your leader. Justin Munsell. Ryan Swan, green flag back in the air. Shane Terrian trying to hold off Beckner, who's charging on the outside, making use of his fresh rubber.
You got to be careful if you're Beckner. You got to calculate your moves. You got to be smart about it. Don't force the issue more than you have to, because you have the tire advantage. There's no need to. He's got all the clean track on the top line. In 1 lap, he went 6th place to 2nd place, and it's not looking too good for Alan Elwood.
I was going to say, it's a parade forming up on the top side. All the drivers with fresh tires taking advantage. Mason Kane, I think, got a piece of the wall. Coming off of turn 2. There's Evan Schillenberg in behind. Brad Slaughter stuck on the inside. Nowhere for him to go. Cameron Hearn trying to take advantage of the situation with his fresh rubber. Ooh, Brad Slaughter almost wanted to make it 3 wide with the 49. Danny Ware stuck in the middle of all this.
Beckner going for the lead right now. He's on the bottom of Elwood. Elwood trying to pinch him down, but I don't think that's going to do anything. 28 easily clear to the lead. But this is when you get the biggest risk of a crash is when you have multiple strategies. Drivers on old tires, drivers on new tires. This is where it gets really dicey.
James Garland may trying to make his way on by Mason Kane, trying to follow on through. See Munsell just trying to hold on for dear life. Second highest driver. The guys that did not pit. Ryan Swan, Shane Terrian currently sitting 8th and 9th.
JT Poole really hopped the curb. That's why I made the noise, but they somehow didn't wreck. They're 3 wide. Bourne, Harden, and Poole. This is not the track to go 3 wide, but there's room for it. But is there... do we have the smarts for it, I guess is the word I'm looking for it. Looking good so far, actually, but they have not moved. This is unbelievable.
Oh, you can see Brad Slaughter up ahead, also trying to find a way around Ryan Swan. They are still 3 wide in behind, though. JT Poole now stuck on the inside. Tom Barton, there goes around Danny Ware. And the caution will fly yet again.
Yeah, that was, unfortunately, I don't mean to be rude, but 3 wide at North Wilkesboro, you could predict that.
They went a lot longer than I think both of us expected, so props to them on that. But this is just when you got, like you mentioned, a bunch of guys on fresh tires and old tires. Tom Bourne bumping into the back of the 49, and around he went.
And I believe Danny Ware was one of those on old tires as well. So he did not get into a corner as well as Bourne on new tires. So that can happen.
Riding on board with Tom Bourne, he's surrounded by trucks on either side. I think just was following the 15, is rolling through the corner with everyone else, but the 49, of course, his worn tires, I should say, couldn't quite keep up.
And it's hard to keep track of who takes tires and who doesn't. I don't think Tom Bourne was really where Elwood comes down. He'll have fresher tires, but I don't know about the strategy. It's going to put him way down there on track position. It puts him at a bigger risk of being in a crash than Beckner was, so we'll see how that works. But like I was saying, Bourne probably didn't know who was on new tires and who wasn't, so he definitely wasn't expecting that.
And also of note, Shane Terrian staying out, deciding to just stick it out for the long haul.
Did the 6 pit, Munsell pit as well.
Everyone else came in that was up near the front, so they're cutting their loss, coming into pit lane. I'm a bit surprised they didn't come in the first time. I guess they said, might as well test the waters.
I suppose so. It's just a big loss of track position at this point. But you get the fresher tires for sure. It's definitely a positive, but it puts you at a big risk of being involved in a crash, especially being at a track like this.
Taking a look at Alan. I keep getting mixed up with Danny Ware. I don't know why. Alan Elwood.
Danny Elwood.
Danny Elwood. Alan Elwood looking off his nose. You can see the leaders are in turn 4. So he's got a long ways to go. 14 trucks he needs to pass to get back to the lead, and his main rival in this race so far, Travis Beckner. James Scioli up to second, highest we see in this number 7 truck. Definitely would be one to watch. I mentioned before, Mason Kay not afraid to get a little dirty. There's some of the paint taken off the right side of that truck. Some fenders dented as well, so he has made some enemies. Speaking of which, main enemy trying to chase him down. Him and Scioli. Philip York currently sitting 11th in the 97.
I will say, one thing that helps Alan Elwood and the guys who just pit, all those guys who went a lap down because they didn't beat the pace car out, there was a lot of them. 23rd on back, actually. It was probably even 22nd on back. I don't know who got the free pass, but 23rd on back, 1 or more laps down. So he's still going to restart in 14th place. That being said, I don't think the tire advantage is going to be big enough for him to do much, but that definitely does help him.
Yeah, just pointing out Cameron Hearn as well, up 29 spots to 5th place from 34th. He's come a long way back from pretty much the exact opposite side of the grid. So he's having a fantastic night. Shane Terrian also making up a lot of spots from him not having to pit. Although we can both easily predict he's going to lose quite a few spots here on this restart here. Coming to the restart, coming to lap 73. Beckner back in the lead again, leading him on down. A decent jump. James Scully sleeping as we're back green here.
Mason Kane was ready. He's going to force the issue. How about a slide jump at North Wilkesboro? He's going to make it work. Scioli tries to cross him over. He's not going to be able to do it. Mason Kane, that was a strong move.
And he will make it work. James Scully, a little bit of a bump to the back of the 31 to throw him offline. Have an opportunity to look up the inside. Scully's going to try to dive down there. Has a look, but thinks better of it. Meanwhile, behind them, Cameron Hearn and Devin Schillenberg racing for 4th place between the 9 and the 4.
It is going to be hard to hold that 4 back. Oh, slipping and sliding back there. They saved it. But that 4 is so fast to be up at the front this quickly. 75 laps, but not too much green flag running to do that, so solid stuff. Andy's kept the truck mostly clean. The rear bumper's been used up, but who cares about that?
Shane Terrian now getting passed by guys on fresher tires. There's Brad Slaughter making his way on by. David Weishardt's moved up quite a few spots on the restarts. Now up to 8th place. Michael Curran to his inside, and JT pulling behind both of them.
Oh, Weishart, wow, he slammed Therian up the racetrack, completely missed the corner, and 3 wide off the corner. It's going to be tough, but they made it work. Weishart immediately apologized over the radio. Cannot blame him for that. Well, you can't blame him for the incident, but can't blame Therian, who gets squeezed. Elwood's around.
Yeah, rear ends the inside wall. Caution back in the air again for the number 10 machine.
That's what we were talking about. Putting yourself back in traffic can lead to that.
Kind of saw that brewing in behind. Just hits the 83 off the corner and sends him flying to the inside wall, I should say.
That was Dustin Scruggs, or no, I keep getting him and Justin Michael mixed up. I don't know why. They're not the same truck, but I think it was Justin Michael who I don't think realized they were 3 wide off the corner. You see here, Therian's way up there. Elwood tries to give room. Yeah, Michael had no clue they were going to be 3 wide.
So around the 10 will go. And with that, take another quick break here, just to catch our breath here and get ready for some more intense action here. 100 laps left to go. We'll be right back. Welcome back to North Wilkesboro here, getting ready for another restart with now Travis Beckner in the lead, Mason Kane on the inside. I haven't seen the 31 up on the front row. Can he potentially spice things up? Might have to be a little bit creative here to try to find a way around the 28 who's led almost every single lap here tonight. Green flag back in the air with Beckner on the outside this time, and actually gets off to a great start. Kane can't even do anything.
I think that's really because I think he saw Scioli third. He wanted to make sure Scioli didn't have a chance to get a jump back into second. So that's going to make it, it's going to work for him because it's going to be Mason Kane and Devin Schillingberg side by side for second. Now Scioli's just kind of boxed in so tight for the runner-up spot.
Riding on board with James Scioli, trying to figure out some way on by. 31 to the inside, 9 to the outside in front of him.
Background, number of trucks in this one. Well, actually, I might be wrong. Just Tom Bourne who had a loop there.
Unfortunate second place in the points. He's having a decent run tonight. Slowly, methodically working his way up the order. See what happened to him here. The 75 get into him. Indeed, he did just tap the 16 around. And took a decent lick to the left front as well, for good measure.
Yeah, another case of 3 wide. I think Olsen, he's really slow out of 4 too. I don't know if he's on no tires still or what, but 3 wide and missed the bottom, or missed the middle at least, and around the 16 goes.
Right on board with Bronson Stafford, see his point of view.
Don't like to see 3 wide here, especially in front of you. Gives the 75 a goodbye bump and gets through. Who is that? Who just barely kept it from spinning.
Also right on board with the 75 himself, coming off turn 4. This movement, she was slow. I think caught 3 wide, lost 2, 3, almost 4 spots, and then just missed the turn in a little bit. I think was trying to hold up the 16 to the outside. Unfortunately, clipped him, and around he went. So back under caution yet again. Pace slow down. So really looking at these guys, so now we got, 90 laps to go. We've been about 30 laps for most of the drivers on this set of tires and fuel. Do they have to come in again?
Honestly, they really might not to. They really might not have to. But if they do, I would think if we get even a little bit of a run, maybe even like a 15 to 20 lap run on the tires, they will come down. I wouldn't be surprised about that one bit. Trying to see what it is exactly. Yeah, I think you're right. Just under 30 laps on this fuel tank for Beckner and everyone else. So I don't think they'll really have to pit again. About 120 laps on a tank, especially with the yellows. I think they can do that, but it just depends on how much green flag running we get.
Yeah, it's really going to be the big thing. I think if we do keep getting more cautions towards the end of this race, we might just see everyone just kind of stay out, continue on this set till the end, because again, that track position is important, and we saw it bit Alan Elwood in the rear, because he is now 18th after getting up there, was working his way back up the order with some slightly fresher tires, not a huge difference, but slightly fresher, but then got turned around and now has damage to the back of that machine, so it's not playing out well for the 10. So we're definitely seeing track position is the name of the game, and that might mean staying out there for long periods of time. But I think if we do get a green flag run, then you might be more poised to come down pit lane. But it's just such a huge trade-off that these guys have to weigh in all night long. So we'll see here if we can get a green flag run in, how it's going to affect the strategy. And when these guys, there's going to be different points, I think, for a lot of these drivers of determining when they actually want to come in or when they're going to stay out. And we'll see here for the rest of this race what they're going to decide, because this could come very much down to a strategy call when you come into pit lane.
A lot of strategy going to come down to what Travis Beckner does. I think a lot of people behind him, like Scioli and Hearn, are going to try to do what he doesn't do. I don't know how else you get an edge on the 28 right now, because no one's been able to challenge him on track.
Race truck off again, and wow, Devin Schillenberg caught sleeping on the restart. Beckner away, Kane clear, and here comes Cameron Hearn charging up the inside.
Another case where Beckner made sure Scioli was boxed in, and it worked to perfection that time, but it's also going to let Cameron Hearn get up to potentially a top 3 spot, definitely top 4. He gets clear of Scioli working over the 9 right now.
And isn't it also amazing that Cameron Hearn has worked up his way through the order with that truck nearly pristine, pretty much to the way to roll off the hauler, starting again all the way back from 34th, so really solid job for him. But now boxed in, Mason Kane in front of him, Devin Schillenberg to his outside, and James Scully in behind him.
Scully just looking for whichever line goes first. I think he wants to follow Hearn.
Well, I saw 3 wide for a second back here. I wanted to take a look at that.
Almost, but not quite yet. Scully's just looking for which lane gets by first, but they're dead even right now. Schillenberg pinching a 4 down. Hearn off the apron, so hard to stay off that when you're getting pinched, but Schillenberg, I don't think he has the pace to hold on in front of the 4 truck much longer. If Hearn's going to try to use him up, push him up the track a little bit. It's what you kind of got to do here, but still dead even.
Yeah, gonna really have to try to use some people up if you're stuck on that inside lane. The outside lane got such a good run, especially because he's held up on the apex bite, the 31. Here comes the 9 trying to seal the deal. Oh. Some door banging in behind, 3 almost 4 wide into the corner. The 87 of Justin Michael sent out wide. Ricky Hart and Justin Munsell all in the mix here.
And that started Weishart and Philip York banged doors off the corner and stacked everyone Athon back up, but they somehow kept it straight. Weishart was very sideways, but they make it work for now. But I don't know. I don't see how it started, but it could be another name on the list for the 97.
His list is getting longer. He's going to turn into Santa Claus at any point and start having a naughty list at the rate this night's going. Barely halfway through.
Yup, Schillenberg finally got the door from Hearn. I was wondering when that was going to happen, but Hearn was finally tired of it.
Take a quick look at that. See right there on the apex, pushing the 9 out, preventing him from getting that run off the corner, and Cameron Hearn solidly in 3rd place. Now Mason Kane, the next one he's trying to chase on down. He's trying to get to Brad Slaughter. Saw him try to have a look. JT Poole trying to get back in the mix of things. He's been absent for quite a bit. We saw him drop pretty much outside the top 10. Now back up to 7th.
Yeah, good climb back up so far. He's away from all the chaos. 9th on back. Weishart's gotten away, but Curhan, Philip York. Oh, York just got a bump from Justin Michael, but it is getting wild for those positions. Oh, those positions right now. I don't know what that was, but Curhan's got the run off the top. He'll clear of 97. 6 has fresher tires. Whoa! He's going to go around. Oh, and Silgak's got nowhere to go.
And caution back in the air again. Justin Munsell around with some assistance. We'll take a look and see exactly how that went off. We pretty much saw that brewing here, I think, with Michael getting into him. Yeah.
Yep. Just wash up the track. Yeah, Sogak just ran out of track to try to dodge the 6 of Munsell. Kind of saw it coming. He had the bump to the 97 there a little bit.
Riding on board with Justin Michael in the 87 here. On the inside, goes to the inside, checks up with the 97 and just taps the rear end of the 6. And around he goes. Take a look on board with Justin and Sogak as well.
A lot of the leaders came down. Beckner came down. A lot more staying out here. As you can see, Sogak just never had anywhere to go.
Mentioned some drivers coming to pit lane. Earlier than I thought we might see some guys. Again, we haven't had too much green flag running. We've only been out there for like 40 laps, and most of them have been caution laps, so.
Hearn get out first there. I didn't know they were sharing stalls here, but Hearn might have gotten out in front of Travis Beckner. That is pretty big.
I guess it makes sense because there aren't that many pit stalls on the front straightaway.
Yeah, not in 1987 there weren't.
So Cameron Hearn getting out ahead of Beckner, I think due to the fact they're sharing stalls.
Definitely helped them there, no doubt about it. So,
I mean, he basically somehow got the advantage of having first pit stall, even though he started 34th. Almost like he planned that.
That's I don't know if that's a case of bad, because the pit stops. There's not much you can do except stopping your box square. But Beckner got into the stall way earlier than Cameron Hearn, but Hearn's virtual pit crew
you can see right here. 4.28 for Travis Beckner, 13.2 for Cameron Hearn. So his virtual pit crew doing a better job, even though it's basically a random number generator for how well your pit crew does. It's for some cases it's mostly negligible, but there are some times you might get a position or two just due to randomly how well they do. And Cameron Hearn, Keeley helping him there for the lead.
That was one of the biggest differences I've ever seen.
It almost makes me wonder that maybe, but I would say, obviously that would maybe be taking fuel, but I think the only time you'd be spending 14 seconds for fuel is if you're starting from empty. They have to fill up a full tank. And they definitely have not used up a lot of fuel here tonight, so I don't know. Just happened to luck of the draw for Cameron Hearn, happened to come his way. Might have some bad luck pending. Who knows? But a lot of wave rounds coming by here.
Yeah, a lot. As in, I think 3.
Only 3? Oh, yeah, James Scully's up in the lead. I was looking at these guys. Forgot everyone else still in the lead lap. So James Scully, Brad Slaughter, Michael Curran, David Weiser, Danny Ware, Ricky Harden, Bryce Senizak, Shane Terrian, and Gary Watherworth all have stayed out on old tires. We saw what happened in the last restart, but the last time this happened, granted there are a lot more trucks involved. We'll see what happens here. Green flag back in the air. Scully off and away. David Weiser trying to come in tow. Brad Slaughter trying to work on the outside of that 29. Ricky Harden finally back in the mix after he's had a long day, getting back near the front. And now fighting with the 24, Michael Curran.
Scully in front. Curran way up the track's going to lose the nose there. 3 wide in the back. Beckner wasting no time. He got by Cameron Hearn.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that's not going to work. JT Poole just got slammed into Mason Kane. That was from Philip York, who started all that. But they made it work there. Hearn through the middle. This is when it gets wild. Even more drivers on both tires.
I was going to say, well, Philip York got his revenge a little bit there. I'm not sure if he's playing that by sending JT Poole. I guess is the messenger in that case. But managed to get the 31 out of the way. He's trying to work his way up, but this is going to be a lot of navigation for a lot of these drivers trying to find their way on through. Travis Beckner up to 6th.
Oh, there it is. Mason Kane's around. Got hit again, but a great save. Unbelievable. But he's going to lose a lot of track position. That was contact from Blaine Harrison. Actually, I don't think it was. It looked close. I
think it was on the back straightaway. You're going to see them come off of turn 2 looking at the replay.
Oh, yeah.
Made contact down the straightaway. Some net code involved, and then he got sent sideways. And Mason Kane, great job locking it down, letting the truck come to its own, straightening itself out, but back in 19th, though.
Yeah, at least he saved the truck, but he's another one who's going to have a lot of drivers on his list, as I can't believe Travis Beckner got through there that quickly. He went from 11th to 4th, and he got there faster than Cameron Hearn, but Hearn is trying his best to follow through with him. 28's about to get blocked in here. He's going to the outside of Slaughter, but David Weishart's right in the way. He's going
no.
middle. That. Caution.
Oh, I was going to say that might have been a little bit too aggressive. Might have brought out a caution, but caution out elsewhere on the track. It is Logan Hartman in the 96 that has brought up this yellow. Take a look and see what happened.
Hard racing at the back, I suppose. Yeah, 3 wide.
Oh.
Upton Stafford came in through there and slammed him. That's all there was to that. Ooh, look out, Garrett Graham. Let's see here.
I'll ride him more with 75, see what he saw on board. 3 wide off the corner, and
oh,
narrowly made his
brakes. Very good brakes there, as we'll see. I don't expect Skyler and anyone else in that strategy to pit, but Beckner up the 4th, and Hearn's up the 5th. Ricky Harden's going to bail out. He's the first one to bail out. So,
and
3
drivers. Gary's Waterworth, and I'm trying to see who else is. Bryce Senizek, Mason Kane, all coming on down to pit lane.
So 3 drivers, 3 of the 9 who stayed out come down. 6 stay out there. And Beckner's going to be on the top, and Hearn's going to be on the bottom.
So now that we have some drivers that have come into pit lane, I feel like it's going to start to force the leaders up in the front. They're going to have to come down at some point as well. Because at some point, I think James Scully, Weiss, or Brad Slaughter, they're going to have to pit. Right, they got Travis Beckner, Cameron Hearn breathing down their neck in 4th and 5th, respectively. So when do you come down if you're in their position?
Probably before they pass you, I think, is the best way to put it. I think if you run maybe 4 or 5 laps and you get a yellow, and if you're the leader and James Scioli and even David Weishart, if you go maybe 5 laps and Beckner and Hearn haven't passed you yet, I think you got to get the pit road, because if you get passed by them and then the yellow comes out, they could just pit there and they have you covered pretty much no matter what you do. So it's really important to try to battle hard for the track position you have now, because you're not going to win it even if we get yellow after yellow. Their tires are fresher, they're already in the top 5, they're going to get you in 60 laps even if we get restart after restart. So you probably got to be in the pit road if you're those top 3.
Yeah, definitely going to have to. While we have some time here, want to thank Rick's Hot Sauce. Race fans, be sure to check out rickshotsauce.com for some of the best hot sauces made locally in South Florida. Try the Loxahatchee Classic, Golden Garlic, Palm Beach Pineapple, or South Beach Heat. Follow the Rick's Hot Sauce Rookie of the Year battle in the Area Cup Series and see which driver will take home the $100 prize as the highest finishing rookie in the point standings. And Connor, if I'm not mistaken, I believe you're eligible for that.
Yay.
So definitely stay tuned and check that out. It's been an entertaining battle in the Cup Series in general across the field, but that is rickshotsauce.com, and one of their drivers, I'm sure they're going to be happy, this is convenient timing, is in the lead. Got South Beach Heat on the hood of that car, James Scioli. It's not been in the lead too long this race, only 15 laps. Don't think it's going to last too much longer because he's got guys on fresh tires breathing down his neck, so at some point, he's going to either go into the hands of the 28 or the 4. We'll have to see. Got 2. I'm happy now because we've got 2 competitive trucks up here near the front. Doesn't matter which one of them is going to get there first. And will they get to there first in one piece?
This is a key restart because Beckner's on the top. He's going to be boxed in a little bit while Hearn can go on the leader with Scioli on the bottom. So this is huge. It's really a race between those two who gets to the front. We're back green.
Back green. In the air here in North Wilkesboro, James Scully off and away. David Weishart fighting with Brad Slaughter, and Travis Beckner trying to shoot the gap 3 wide, similar to what we saw right before the caution. Going to be to the outside of the number 8.
Oh, he's going 3 wide top. That is insanity, but I don't think he has the grip up there.
Oh, Cameron Hearn trying to look on the inside of Travis Beckner, but Brad Slaughter that makes contact. The 28 goes into the wall. Cameron Hearn on the apron, 3 wide off the corner.
Big wreck
and
in the back.
Big wreck behind them as we were staring at this battle. Danny Ware around in the 49.
That looked like neck code between Beckner and Slaughter, as there was something separate back there as well. We'll see what happened with Danny Ware into the 97.
Oh, wow. 66 just completely hip-checked them.
Looked like JT Poole and Blaine Harrison tag team. It almost looked like he was checking up for the 8 being sideways. Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think Danny Ware checked up thinking there was going to be a crash, and then there wasn't a crash.
66 on board. Was able to slow down in time, and he got hit as well. Ping pong.
Oh, another slap there. As no one really pits from the front here, but Beckner pretty hurt. But a lot of trucks are hurt, so he doesn't really stick out too much.
Take multiple angles of this here. Actually surprised this wasn't bigger than it was.
Yeah, that's like the Oh, wow. Elwood got another slap there. But yeah, it's another wreck where I thought it was going to be a big one. Hence why I said it was a big one. It really wasn't.
And just taking a look at back what we saw with the leaders is they almost had a wreck of themselves. There you see Brad Sauter get into Travis Beckner as he was already out of room. Then 3 wide for a second there. Really wish this could have played out because Hearn and Beckner were almost in a dead heat off the corner. In fact, Hearn beat Beckner at the moment of caution.
Not only did he get him, he's got a much cleaner truck now. The 28 has a lot of damage. Dominant truck of the night, pretty hurt.
You can see right there that right side all used up from the contact with the wall, and even on the left front too with the contact with Brad Slaughter. So like you mentioned, that truck beaten and bruised. Trying to see who has actually left out there with do a little damage report, go through the field here. James Scully, I think, is voided most damaged. A little bit of a dent for David Weishart.
Let's look at a 9 truck for right now. Knock on wood, but 9 truck looks clean. By the way, Blaine Harrison's going to get a pass-through for that, I believe.
Yeah, I think this is the second one.
Yes.
So, and that is a pass-through into green. Just want to clarify.
Let's see, who else is clean? That might be the 4's all right, the 9's all right. It might be it.
Yeah, Curran's got some damage. York's been beating around. You can see in the rear end.
Oh, 09 looks okay. He's 20th. Bryce Stanisek.
Tom Bourne. Just Munsell, yeah, not a whole lot of pristine machines out there, especially once you get into the thick of things back here. Shane Terry, that truck looks pretty clean.
There's Senesac, he looks clean as well. Dawson Miller looks really clean. I think he's got the strategy right. Just stay off the track, you can't get damaged.
Flintstone Flyer.
Pretty nice car. Shame he can't run tonight. Not sure what the issue is still.
He's been taking a long bathroom break, about 33 minutes. At least it's showing how long he's been down on pit lane.
Keep popping in the truck.
Speaking of a report, got his first trucks running in the race. 32 still running, 27 of which still on the lead lap. So a lot of guys still in the fight. And it's going to start getting spicy, almost like Red Sauce here, because coming down to just about 50 to go. And some guys with fresh tires still have yet to taste the lead again. We'll see what they do here on this restart. Scully leading them back on down. Cameron Hearn with arguably a better line and a better restart. Going to try to see if he can get clear of Travis Beckner and company.
He'll have the bottom line. Tough to pass down there, but he has the tire advantage to do so. I think Beckner's only choice is to follow him through at this point, as the bottom looks so stacked up. Harrison in the wall. He's still trying to get down so he can make his pass through, and he's stopped on track to do it, but he will be able to get down. Now, as Hearn tries to force the issue, he will be able to do it.
Indeed, will clear David Weiser. Brackner, you see him behind, having to wait now. Going to dive to the inside of the 29. Devin Schillenberg waiting in the wings. Philip York looming in the background as well. He's side by side with Brad Slaughter.
Ooh, Harrison's going to exit the pits right in front of the leaders. That's going to be tough for Scioli to navigate. I think Harrison, is he going to get out of the way? Yes, he is, but he'll be in the preferred bottom lane. And it's going to be tough to pass.
Oh, I was going to say he's going to hold up Travis Beckner a little bit. No, not quite. He didn't quite clear Weiser because of that. He's got to dive in again.
It's so hard to be a lap truck here and get out of the way. It's almost impossible. And Harrison did a really good job being able to do it at a track like this. But Beckner is still getting hounded by Weishart. Weishart will not let him go, but he has no choice. Beckner gets a better run out of 4 to get him. But Cameron Hearn's pretty far gone, but still got James Scioli to deal with.
Looking in right below the camera, there's Devin Schillenberg in the 29 of David Weishart, now about to start fighting out for 4th place. 9 going to be on his way on through. Philip York now trying to work his way to the inside of Weishart. Meanwhile, for the lead, James Scioli being hounded by Cameron Hearn in behind. Cameron Hearn going to look up the inside.
Oh, they almost hit Scioli so sideways off the corner. I don't know what the 7 has to fight with here, but his only defense now is going to be to pinch the 4 off the corner, but that's not going to work for too long if the 4 gets impatient. Dead even in the 1. And Hearn's got to go because Beckner is still closing, even with the damaged truck. Contact, Weishart gets turned.
Weishart gets turned around, the caution out, and Cameron Hearn will be the leader by just about a nose. And we'll take a look and see what happened here to bring out the caution yet again here at North Wilkesboro. Off the corner, Philip York gets into the corner panel. They were fine there. Did he come after him again? Ooh.
Oh, yeah, he did. Is there history there? Was he on the list?
Apparently, I'm telling you, man, he's really turning into Santa Claus.
They did hit off of 4 the first time, but That looked pretty unintentional from both sides.
He's making a list, checking it twice, apparently finding out who's naughty and nice as he goes flying through the 29.
Everyone's naughty. Yeah, that was just a slam, and yep, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen on pit road. Cameron Hurd just got left out to dust by the rest of the field.
Taking a look at the replay, GT Pool getting hip checked as well by that.
Ooh, good job getting by the 29, though. As you can see, lonely world for Cameron Hurd. I think about 6 trucks stayed out. No, there was more. Actually, there was a decent amount, but...
There were a decent amount. Trying to look where Beckner is, down in 12th, 13th. So it is a decent amount of traffic with 45 to go. There's Travis Beckner out. James Scioli, Devin Schillenberg, Brad Slaughter. I think actually Brad Slaughter beat the number 9.
And this might be the point where those guys who stay out, you very might... I'm trying to think of the word. You really might see them just stay out to the very end.
Yeah.
So with about close to 40 to go.
We got 40 laps to go. We've seen quite a few cautions come out. Very rarely have had a long green flag run. You can argue Cameron hasn't really used up his stuff too much. You know, a little bit on some of the restarts, but again, I think he's going to be betting on a lot of cautions finishing this one out because the aggression's only really going to step up even more. And he's got a decent cushion because his competition's only back in 12th place. He's got a buffer about 10 trucks for his competition to get to him. I think you can either go two ways here. You either kind of hope it goes green flag, you have your competitors, you know, run their tires a lot, trying to catch back up, or just a bunch of cautions to prevent them from going anywhere.
Yeah, you either that or you hope you get a long run, stay in front of the leader. That would be what I would be hoping for. I would just be hoping. Well, no, I'd probably be hoping for a lot of yellows too, but we are not hoping for that. I think the best case scenario for Hearn is either we do get a bunch of yellows or we get a long enough run to the point where the 28 and the 7 don't get to him, but then the yellow comes out right when they're behind him. Then it kind of forces everyone's hand, and then it really splits strategy. I think that those are the 2 situations Cameron Hurd needs here.
Taking a look at the rest of the guys that stayed out, GT Pool started in 3rd up to 2nd. He's been lacking on the later half of the top 10, so he's up a few spots. Justin Muntz, we've seen running around the outsides of the top 10. Tom Bourne's out of tops. Terry Knight up into 4th. Ryan Swan up into 5th. Michael Tarian, Bryce Senezak, Mason Kane, and Danny Ware have all stayed out on older tires. We'll see what happens here. We saw last time we saw a mix in tire strategy got pretty spicy. I think on our easy bet here is going to get spicy again here if it hasn't been already. Pace Truck's going to be off with just over 40 laps to go. Cameron Hearn leading it down. Ooh, that might be a jump start for JT Pool. Might have been a black flag. Hello, 3 wide immediately. Travis Beckner wasting no time to the inside.
Again, no restart zones here, so it's really up to NASCAR or up to iRacing discretion. And yeah, JT Pool's definitely got a black flag there from iRacing. I don't know how that's going to be ruled. It looked like a pretty clear jump from me, but Hearn's still away with the lead.
Oh, if we don't get a caution here, I will be amazed. Mason Kane going to turn the 9, and there he goes.
Oh,
hard hit to the outside wall, and the caution flies again.
Curhan, Bell, Weishart's engine's destroyed. He's done.
Oh, wow.
A lot of trucks got big damage in that one.
Take a look, there's the 31 running a little bit high. Clips the 9. There you see the 24 getting shoved by the 77, and Weiser coming in there to the 77. I think that's where he blew his engine. Take some good looks here and try to see what happens. I just don't know who he'd really even ride on board with in this giant mess of trucks.
Oh, they were already bouncing off each other there. Mason Kane, Brad Slaughter Jr. That looked like a little bit of a neck code bump, but the 31 did wash up. I don't know. That was very close to being a bigger wreck. Whoever barely didn't get clipped here, as we'll see from David Weishart's view.
See him trying to right on board with the 77 of Jacob Bell. One lap prior. See just an absolute mess of trucks. Where'd he even go? 3 wide ahead of him.
Nowhere.
A few couple rows. Ooh, gets doored by Philip York.
That was a good move. Where do you go? You go to pit road. Hey.
Join Dawson Miller down there.
Yeah, he had the right idea, and then he just ran out of room. And, oh, wow, and then Schillenberg really slapped him down into the inside guardrail.
take a look since we can. Pretty close to the restart. We'll take a look at what happened there. GT Pool.
Does he think Hearn accelerated here? It looks pretty clear he did accelerate first. I'm not sure. JT Pool did get black flags cleared.
And I also want to take a ride on board Travis Beckner.
Yeah, there is no lane change rule in area this season. So that is 100% legal. And
he didn't jump to start. He just kind of looked at the inside. Everyone checked up. Some contact with Shane Terrian.
I don't think it really worked for him, though.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't get as good of a jump as we would have thought. I think he in a few spots, but...
all right. So they will be giving it... They just cleared it so he didn't get the white black flag with the cross over it. He is getting a pass-through when he can.
I see. Okay. So JT Pool, penalty pending him. So he'll be dropping out of the order. Travis Beckner is 9th. We'll move up to 8th at least once JT Pool comes into service penalty. So I think now I really think for Cameron Hearn, it's just a matter of just waiting out the laps, letting the laps tick down, because the caution seemed to be a little bit longer than I would have thought, about a lap or two extra. So it's definitely going to be helping him. Just some yellows to finish out the night, can be walking home with a win.
Be walking home with 3 in a row too.
Yeah.
As well, and Scioli did that in 1 week at Watkins Glen, but this would be over, I guess, 2 weeks technically, but still 3 in a row, and it's impressive. 3, in my opinion, 3 completely different tracks too, and 3 completely different cars. Still very impressive. See if he can get it done. Race is arguably still young for some people because he's got 35 laps to go, and in some cases things are just getting started. Cameron Hearn leading them back down again. Green flag in the air. Tom Borden in the wall a little bit on the restart, and they're all jumbled up again. Oh, they're already wrecking. Slaughter did the same thing again. He had a half drift, and he somehow saved it again. I think he brought out the caution too. Yes, he did. That was the same exact thing. Where is he? I'm trying to find where he is in the order. Everyone keeps getting jumbled up. I can't find people for like 10, 15 seconds. Oh yeah, he saw same thing. Same exact thing.
Saw what happened there. Taking a look from up above. Danny Ware's sorry, not Danny Ware. I keep making a mistake. Alan Elwood in behind. Whoa, Harden got a little piece of him there. But yeah, like you mentioned, same exact thing. And saved it again. He is a magnet in turn 1 on a restart if he's on the outside lane, I guess. But I guess that might be another truck. Beckner, I think he got a spot back. But that'll be on Elwood, I would assume. Another big stack up. Same exact thing. The only difference is Slaughter I think he got help from Ricky Harden saving it that time. Yeah, I was going to say better than the opposite, and rather have them help you save it than turning you around. It can definitely go either way. As he riding on more, we're going to see Brad Slaughter's quick hands in action for the second time tonight. Oh, same exact hand movements. It's nice like this where I wish we really had Eric Wyland in the booth with us to get a word from Brad Slaughter. I would have loved to have heard his reaction to that. Keep hitting him apparently in turn 1 on the restart. I'm waiting for Eric to hit him at this point. It seems like everyone wants a piece of the 8's rear bumper. And again, another thing helping out the 4. He's loving this at the moment. Beckner is up to 9th. I believe he is still the highest out of anyone on tires. Yeah, Beckner has also secured most laps led, 92 to his name so far tonight. Next driver with fresh tires in behind him is James Scioli. Then Harden, Gary Waterworth. Was Waterworth? I believe it's Waterworth, but I will admit I don't know for sure. Go with that. Brad Slaughter in 14th place, Alan Elwood back in 15th here. Any word if he will be getting an EOL? Sorry, who was that? Alan Elwood? I think they actually called that one a racing incident. Yeah, I was going to say, I see it there on our little admin chat. You can see the race of the incident outcomes. Jacob Bell's not happy. I don't know what he was complaining about, but very unhappy. A lot of drivers getting antsy. I was going to say a lot of drivers are probably really unhappy. I mean, well, he did get wrecked out. I'm not sure why he's unhappy now. His accident was a little while ago, but I think just frustrated in general. I think he got back in his truck just to say that over driver's chat. Imagine if drivers could talk to each other. I know they used to be able to back when they were able to have a few driver channels for the super speedway races. But other than that, can you imagine drivers being able to talk to each other during a
Not
race?
today, with the way the racing is now. Larson and Ross would have been really,
that would have been spicy.
really yapping at each other. But yeah, that would be wild. It's going to get wild again. It's getting dark, sort of dark. No more sunlight, so I don't know how that's going to change things. But Cameron Hearn takes the top, trying to keep Beckner behind. We're back green.
Oh, and a very poor restart from Tom Bourne. And are they going to be wrecking again? James Scioli getting a huge amount of damage. Travis Beckner also getting a huge amount of damage as the one he hit. And Beckner getting relegated a couple spots down. That's not what either driver needed.
Gotta remember, JT Pool's doing his drive-through. He's going to be able to get to pit road this time, thankfully. Everyone avoids nicely as Beckner, I don't know what happened with the stack-up. I think the 83 missed a shift. No,
I think it was 16. It was 16 Tom Bourne.
Yeah, you're right. You are right. Tom Bourne missed a shift, and I don't know how they didn't wreck it there, but they made it work.
Someone made it work, except for Beckner, who got a huge amount of damage, as well as James Scioli. And Scioli actually down in 27, down on pit lane, fixing his truck. So he's out of the running. Here we go with 49 getting hip checked and around in the wall hard. Caution back out again.
That is another one off the same front bumper. I think Scioli
bites at us.
Scioli got turned coming into the pits. That's why he was on pit road. I think
really?
Called it a night at that point. But that is Justin Michael just kind of hip checked the 49 of Danny Ware.
Yeah, I think just a Michael might. He's already gotten a pass there, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I don't. Has he? He might have. I know the 66 did, and 22 just did for a pit road or a jump. Yeah, just hip checked him. And everyone's in the groove as the crash goes out of the groove, thankfully for him.
Take a look and try to see what happened to Scioli.
Not sure if his engine blew or what, but he's coming into the pit.
This is on the restart.
That was the lap after.
Oh, this is the lap after. You're right, correct.
But it has ended his day. It almost looked like he was done and calling it.
Ended. Not sure who that was. 30-something.
38, maybe?
38 sounds like it might be right. Don't know where he even is on the track, though.
19th right now. He's the very back of the line, maybe 5th to last.
Brandon Goddard, who it was, who hit him. They gave him a tap down in the pit lane, and actually went through some pit boxes as well. So hopefully the virtual pit crews are all right.
He went through the infield, as a matter of fact. No pit wall in 1987. Not even joking.
I was gonna say that's kind of crazy to think, right? You think about everyone now, and pretty much every track other than in Europe because they just have the garages. But just imagine no protection at all from a car potentially spinning, especially because this is also, I think, when was the pit road speed implemented?
I'd have to check, but I don't think it was implemented in '87.
So I just love the thing of safety, how it's changed so far. You got a pit wall, everyone's got proper equipment. Back in '87, you got guys in T-shirts, no pit wall to protect them, very little protective gear, besides a T-shirt and some pants.
Yeah,
some
the
jeans
first
probably,
year.
And guys coming down pit road without any pit limiter.
Yeah, I think the first year it was implemented was 1991.
Oh wow!
That was only after. I think that was only after tragedy struck.
Yeah, which is unfortunately what happens in a lot of motorsports. They don't really change things until something catastrophic happens.
Yeah, that is definitely not wrong there, for sure. We've seen that in the past.
Crazy how things have changed. Curious, though, we were talking about it, too, earlier today. I'm not sure if it was with you. We were talking about it. About when we're going to get the new North Wilkesboro. I think it's the updated version of it.
Danny Ware got the EOL for that.
Oh.
That is interesting.
That is interesting. So I guess they're feeling he came down on them. I'm sure 49 is going to be peeved at that, but we'll see what happens. We'll see if anything happens from that.
I can't blame him.
Well, we'll see what happens on this restart here. Coming down just about 20 laps to go, really getting down into the nitty-gritty. Whoa, Justin Russell. Not sure if that was wheel spinner, him pulling off. We are 4 wide. Oh, it is not going to end well. Back into the inside, trying to make up some time. Tom Bourne in the mix, Ricky Hart in the mix as well. They somehow live to see another day.
That was big for Beckner. How in the world did they make that work?
Oh, Brad Slaughter, an aggressive block trying to keep Tom Bourne at bay. 3 wide in behind them. Almost 4 wide again. Oh boy, my heart can't take more of this.
I don't think anyone's heart can take more. Neither can the trucks themselves. That got Beckner all the way up into the top 5, and they're still 3 wide in the back as Beckner still trying to fight Justin Michael for the lead. Dove down to the bottom there as Hearn's well away with the lead. And Bryce Senizak is in second. Where did he come from?
Whoa! Travis Beckner is sideways off the corner. You can see him really throwing everything. Oh, he's going to turn. He's going to loop himself around. Trying to save it. Hits Justin Michael, and they somehow save it.
I'm done. I quit. I don't understand it. They can't. This can't go on.
Oh man, well it might not go for much longer. 3 wide. Not Danny Ware. Alan Elwood to the inside. 31. Mason Kane to his outside. As Beckner just laid it all out on the line, and everything he made up on that restart, he's lost.
This is really jumping up the order. Ricky Harn brought out the first caution. He's in 4th place in a battle for that spot with Philip York. Justin Michael caused a yellow not too long ago. Is up to 6th. Tom Bourne, he got spun earlier. He's battling for 7th. Cars in the trucks in the wall again. 3 wide again. Beckner's in the middle of it. I don't understand how this is working, but Kevin Hearn loves it.
Oh, almost just saw Travis Beckner getting turned by Dustin Struggs. Haven't talked a whole lot on the 22 tonight, but almost has made contact with the 28 of Beckner, running in 15th at the moment for the 22. Up ahead of them, Justin Michael. Brad Slaughter Jr. racing it out for 6th place as we got some sense.
Big crash.
Never mind. I was going to say it's finally calmed down a little bit. And right on cue. Gosh. Another one bites the dust.
We need to re-loop all of that.
Holy goodness. You took a breather after that. This Logan Harmon into the corner gets turned by the 66.
That was kind of just one of those iRacing crashes that happens. You kind of get hooked together and go through each other. That was Hartman and Blaine Harrison. I think that'll be called netcode. I'm interested to see if anyone wants to pit. I don't think you do if you're Cameron Hearn.
Not with 20 laps to go at this track. I think we've seen.
So, yeah.
Decent netcode there.
Yeah.
Do I dare try to get the replay of the restart?
That is the ultimate question. The only drivers in the back will pit. Like Justin Sogak, who is pretty much at the very back. No reason for him not to pit. I don't know if this is wheel spin by the 6 or what.
I imagine it would be. Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. I think it looked like some wheel spin. Then a big checkup. There's Beckner throwing it to the inside, 4 wide. Somehow they all didn't annihilate one another down in this corner. They see Tom Bourne get bullied out of position. And Beckner, I think had Beckner taken it a little bit easier, I think he would have definitely had a shot for the win here, but he was just, I think, pushing way too hard here, and that truck has also suffered some damage.
I think the spin happened lap before, but yeah, I think the rear end damage is what was kicking him, especially sideways. Just completely totaled. You can see the hood is completely buckled. He dove
right
the inside.
Here is where he's going to get loose the first time. There he is with some huge correction there, just trying to hang on.
And you get the rears hot like that, it's just going to do that.
Someone didn't take a Ricky Harden or Michael and held on to it.
That was pretty unbelievable. But when he slid the rears out of 4, it's just going to slide again if you try to send it into a corner, especially that corner. We've been talking about the elevation change. It goes downhill, does a little bit of a dip dive, and he just was not ready for that with the way he sent it in on rear tires that were already angry.
Oh, man. All right. Eric Weinland is now the highest driver. Actually, not. Never mind. He's not the highest driver. I was going to say he's the highest driver with the fresher tires, but he's not. But up there, solid night for him. Up 15 spots into 9th place. Highest driver that has come down to pit lane is Philip York. How about that?
Really? In 4th place, huh?
34 laps since he's come on down, compared to Cameron Hearn's 64 laps.
That is when the 28 came in, so York, Hearn is taking the top, which that's going to give Philip York the chance to get the jump.
Yeah, I am quite surprised by that, unless I guess he doesn't exactly know, unless you have like extra tools, like I think Race Lab app, so lets you see when the driver last came down to pit lane, unless you know that or have a spotter that would know that. Wouldn't quite keep track of exactly who came down on that one caution. So he's just trying to guess and see, figuring out who's the main drivers he's fighting with. I guess he wants to keep Munsell more at bay. Then the 97, we'll see how that works out. And I'd argue we'd had so many restarts, the tires have close to equal out at this point with the amount of heat cycling.
Yeah, the heat cycling is going to play a factor here for sure.
Well, pace truck off again. Will it be the final time? 10 laps to go on the restart. Huge wheel spin for the 97 and some other drivers in behind. They're immediately going to go 3 wide. Eric Wine to the inside of Justin Michael and Ryan Swan in the mix as well.
York gets to run off the top. He's so close to clearing for second. I think he will out of 4. Well, sent us that good run through the middle of 3 and 4. York just can't quite clear him.
And York might be able to, might have to carry in another corner or two. Bryce Senezek struggling to get the car to rotate, and there he will go finally get him. Brad Slaughter Jr. trying to do the same maneuver to the outside of the 09.
See if York has anything left for the 4. I'm not sure if he does, even with the tires, but he's going to give it his all. He's clear track now as they're side by side. Senezek and Slaughter, 2 drivers who've been through it tonight, especially the 8 truck, but he's back into the top 5.
Ricky Harden in the mix on slightly fresher rubber than some of the guys ahead of him. Again, at this point, not sure how much it's going to matter. To the inside of the 6 of Munsell, and also trying to fight with Brad Slaughter here in these closing laps.
Senezek cleared him for that position. Slaughter tries to cross over, but he doesn't have the position. Munsell to the top. They're looking to try 3 wide again, but not anything to do of it. Hearn and York almost identical laps the last 2 laps.
Yeah, Hearn out by half a second lead over Philip York. Battles still brewing in behind these guys. Now Brad Slaughter trying to deal with Justin Munsell. He's trying to work to his outside lane.
Still 2 by 2. 10th on back, including Beckner in that mix. Swan into the wall, keeps it straight, but once again, the top 5 kind of sorting themselves out as that 4 starts to scoot away.
4 is driving away as you look at all the other drivers that have definitely seen some things tonight.
Man. Sorry, Wineland was drifting there, Tokyo Drift. He keeps it straight, though.
Riding on board on his machine. Justin Michael to his outside.
He's struggling to paint the bottom. The 21 is.
Side by side for position. 4 laps to go. Michael trying to get that run built up on the outside. Mason King duking it out with Travis Beckner. Battling for 10th place. JT Poole, Danny Ware, Ryan Swan, and Alan Elwood all in this mix here. This big gaggle of trucks just trying to figure out where they end up catching the scraps, but everyone's chasing down this number 4 truck. Cameron Hearn, the only driver I would say at this point who's got a truck without any damage on it, and he's up 0.7 of a second now over Philip York.
Yeah, it is very impressive to have a clean truck here after what we've seen today, but he's done a great job getting through the field cleanly, and he got the lead when it mattered the most. 2 laps to go, now a lap and a half.
A lap and a half, we'll see. Still got a half a lap to see if a caution does come out. Might come out from this group here. They're still fighting hard for position. Up ahead, Cameron Hearn comes out of turn 4. White flag in the air for the number 4 of Cameron Hearn. He did a fantastic job at the short track. A different one at Bristol last night. Took home the race win.
Oh, Scruggs got turned.
Some wrecking in the background, but Cameron Hearn doesn't mind because he's going to come out of turn 4, take the checkered flag for the 2nd time this week. This time the trucks at North Wilkesboro. Cameron Hearn will win.
And they door across the line, Beckner and Wineland. That got wild, but a really strong run to the end there. We at least got some good racing in there, and Cameron Hearn is on fire. The 2nd driver this season to go 3 in a row.
And there you can see a bum from Brad Slaughter giving his congratulations. As Cameron Hearn's about to light him up. I was going to say that bum from Brad Slaughter was the only damage the floor has gotten.
And that puts, as quickly as James Scioli took the mark for all-time area wins, Cameron Hearn just snatched it back with 24. Number 24.
Nice little fight between both of them. Unfortunately for Scioli, way down the order in 29th. Cameron Hearn does a fantastic burn. As he's burning it out, let's take a look at your race results. Cameron Hearn, again, your race winner tonight. Moving on down, Philip York, Brad Slaughter, Bryce Senezek, Justin Munsell rounding out your top 5 with Harden, Bourne, Wineland, Michael, and Beckner rounding out your top 10.
I like the gap for Hearn says win. I never noticed that before for some reason, but yes, gap is win. But yeah, we thought Beckner was that truck to beat, and he was, I think, until the contact with Weishart. There's Garrett Grant. Weishart, I think it was Weishart and him who got together. Beckner got a lot of damage from that, and it really changed the course of the race. Beckner just had too much damage to fight, but a lot of good finishers in the top 10, including Tom Bourne. We'll see what the points look like, but he'll gain a lot on the leader Scioli. Wineland in 8th. There goes the engine.
And 42 there. Oh, Garrett Grant still doing another loop. Mason, Kane, Poole, Ware, Elwood, Waterworth, Swan, as well as Harrison, Terrian, Goddard, and Grant. Rounding out the rest of your top 20. A lot of the guys I think a lot of guys benefiting quite a bit from some of the carnage that you're going to see in outside the top 20.
He's going through all the haulers.
Trying to find victory lane, I think.
I don't think there is one, but that good enough.
Oh, there is. He's parked by it.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that was there, but now I know. But more of these finishers. A lot of guys who just couldn't avoid the attrition rate. Devin Schillenberg had a clean truck for so long, but only gets 24th. Paul Irvin involved early, 27th. Logan Hartman, he got a drive-through the very last one, 25th. And Anna Sogak has not had much luck since Daytona. His victory there, he gets 21st. And Scioli, obviously, 29th.
Moving on back in behind them, a lot of the guys that didn't finish tonight out. Jacob Bell, Weishart, Carter Coop, Josh Taylor, Dawson Miller, and Dean Thompson. Gonna end your finishing order right there, and we'll go into our interviews here. Talk first with Brad Slaughter Jr. I didn't even realize, Brad, you ended up finishing in third because the entire order of the last 20, 30 laps is completely jumbled up. But first, walk us through. How do your arms feel? Because we saw you manage to correct yourself from spinning twice after being completely nailed into turn one. So walk us through how you're able to pull that off, not once, but twice tonight.
Yeah, apparently there's a big old kick me sign on the back of this thing tonight. I don't know what was going on going into turn one on the restarts. But yeah, I was getting punted a couple times, made a couple saves, but all in all, happy to walk away with P3 after whatever that was.
Yeah, I can imagine especially just to get the night over with. But as far as, I guess, strategy was concerned, we saw you and a bunch of others come down to pit lane, but unfortunately just didn't quite work out. Were you kind of hoping that the race would run a little bit more green, or were you just hoping to get through the guys on older tires quick enough?
It was really just about how the green flag runs fell there. Whenever you got a good 20 to 30 lap run, you could you'd have to come down and pit, and we were just trying to figure out when it was going to go green and when it wasn't. And we got off strategy a little bit there, and then we got back on with Travis at the end, and Cameron was really the only one that we were off with, and it ended up working out for him because the last 30 laps or so we were just yellow, yellow, yellow. But and good win to Cameron. He's back. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but that man is on fire, and he's winning everything nowadays. But so good win to Cam. But yeah, just all in all, happy to walk away with a P3 there. Shout out to Bryce also up there in P4. Getting a good points night for us. We're already got a pretty nice lead there, so that'll be another nice little points night for us. So, all in all, we managed to walk away with a good team points lead. Scioli had a really fast truck, and I think he got caught up in something there. So, hate that for him. Same thing with David. David was pretty fast tonight. We just trying to navigate the restarts and the yellows and stuff was pretty tough. But all in all, pretty happy with it, man. Thank you to Matco and everybody that sponsors DWR and lets us do this thing. And I'm ready to get my butt. I got to go do some packing. I got to get my butt to actual North Wilkesboro for a week of racing. So I'm ready to get on the road.
I was going to say, definitely you're going to be very exciting going to the actual track in real life. Looking forward. I'm sure you're definitely looking forward to seeing it in person, Brad. Definitely looking forward to myself watching on TV. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you. Hopefully it doesn't look like it did tonight.
We'll see. We never know. All right.
See you, boys.
Take care. Moving on to our second place finisher, Philip York. And Mr. York, you've had quite a few guys out there that have went after you. We saw Mason Kane and James Scioli getting after you, and talk about sometimes you're the bat, sometimes you're the ball. Tonight, unfortunately, you might have been the ball, but ended up finishing second place. Walk us through how your night went.
Yeah, I just can't say enough about our run tonight. Surprisingly, I put a lot of time in practicing this week, and it being a short track is kind of where I come from with my real racing background. So I was able to figure out the line pretty early and had a good run going. Had a scuffle that knocked us back, but we just managed and found ourselves with some good track position at the end, and it played in our favor.
Yeah, and also just walk us through, we saw it be a little bit loose, more towards the beginning, not so much towards the later part of the race. Did the track grip up later on, or did you find it just all in all, just the track grip was decent levels tonight? Because I don't think we saw you in particular get too loose.
Yeah, man, I'd say the more the race went, the more the rubber got laid down, the more grip you had, especially on old tires. Old tires at the beginning, that first run, they were pretty chaotic, but the more the runs went on and what little runs we got, it seemed that we built more grip the more.
All right, well, Philip, congratulations on a solid second place finish in your 97 machine. See you next week and see how you do the rest of the season.
Thank you, sir. And I just want to say thank you to Miller Racing, Thompson Pipe Group, the Holston River Machine Shop, and you guys for putting on this Bad to the Bone broadcast.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, moving on to our last interview, but last but not least, Cameron Hearn came out of nowhere. Wasn't quite looking like he might have had the best night. First of all, Cameron, just wanted to confirm, heard you had some force feedback issues early on. That's where you weren't able to qualify or get a good lap in qualifying.
I was embarrassed, and that was my excuse of what happened in qualifying. So I had a decent lap, but it was like probably a P10 lap, and I probably should have kept that. And I was like, I can do faster, and I completely overdrew one and tapped the wall, and it was over.
Oh no, that's unfortunate. But I mean, I guess you're not going to care, right? Because it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just incredible to look. You started in 34th, got yourself up to the lead. How'd you manage to do that? And not only do that, but keep your truck in pristine condition the whole way through. You didn't manage to bump into anyone tonight. How'd you manage to pull that off?
Well, I got a year older last week, so maybe that's part of it. But just being patient, and I knew people would be super aggressive. And the setup was loose on entry, so you could kind of slide in and slide it up. And I felt like that happened to a lot of people. And I pretty much waited for lap 30 or 40. I think there was a big wreck, maybe 7 or 8 cars pitted. I was around 20th. I was like, okay, now I'm kind of to the point now where I can start making my way through the field. And if you get on the high side, you can kind of make some passes work and pitch some guys low off the corner, kill the momentum. And that's what I was trying to do. Then pit strategy, different cycles and stuff. I debated on pitting that last one when everybody else pitted. That was up there in the front, but I was like, man, this year I've had bad luck pitting, and I felt like the odd man out, but the cautions and everything worked out the way it was. Travis was fast all night. I know he made some aggressive moves and kind of gained some spots and lost some spots, but I'm just glad we didn't have like another 20 and 25 laps left.
Yeah, I'm sure you definitely couldn't wait for the laps to run out, Cameron. But congratulations on another win. You won last night at Bristol, won this night at North Wilkesboro. I imagine you're going to be eyeing up a win Thursday night in the Pro Series.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. I never expected this week to go as good as it has. The NAI DeLeo Brown Ford bad fast tonight. The Fords have been fast all week. But I'll be in a Chevy later on in the week, so we'll see what happens there.
We'll definitely see what happens. Thanks for talking to us, Cameron. Best of luck.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right, and with that's going to wrap up our interviews here from North Wilkesboro. Some crazy action tonight. Quite a few cautions, but quite a bit of action in between those cautions. Sometimes I think, Connor, we're definitely out of breath because of everything that was going on at once. And also just what was just going before our eyes.
Yeah, the last 30, 40 laps, that was wild. But when we got green flag racing, it was fun. But that's kind of been the theme of the season so far. Fun when we get racing, but it's hard to get the racing sometimes. So we're getting better for sure. Had a lot of fun moments that we kept green for a lot of this season. So I think next week we go to Darlington, track 2 tough to tame. We'll see if the truck drivers and all area drivers can tame it next week. It's going to be a good throwback week, going to be a fun one at Darlington, and we'll see if we can get the green flag flying a little bit more. Darlington is one of those tracks where if the wreck is not on the track, it is not going to bring out a yellow. So we'll see if that plays into factor next week. It's going to be a tough one.
Definitely going to be a tough one. We'll see how it plays. How we still got the Area Pro Series, Florida State Builders Area Pro Series heading to Bristol on Thursday night. Then, as Connor mentioned, all 3 series will be heading to Darlington. It's going to be throwback week next week as well. So definitely come out to see the paint schemes that these drivers can be throwing on the Area Twitch channel and on the SimTV YouTube channel. But for tonight, my name is Finny Kuna here with Connor Horn. Be signing out here from the Area Truck Series. Thank you for watching.